Hey guys, Andrew Henderson from Nomad Capitalist. I'm in Kuala Lumpur, just kind of leaving my hotel. And we're gonna go on a little walk, because you can see I've got the backpack on. It's a busy day. I've been doing 25 kilometers on foot every day the last couple days, going back and forth between some places. And I want to talk to you about something that I'm doing here in Malaysia that probably a little bit surprising to some of you who watch and read a lot of my stuff, something that you wouldn't think I'd be doing. But I want to tell you what that is and tie it into a concept that we discussed in a mastermind that I held for some of our insiders this past weekend that a lot of people were really interested in. So we're going to pass a lot of construction here, but I think that's part of what we're kind of talking about. So I've been talking about real estate, and I've been building around the world a portfolio of core city center properties, whether it's Georgia, whether it's other countries. I kind of even get confused sometimes. I keep a spreadsheet of where we're doing deals, but I love core city center real estate in Europe and Asia particularly. Not as much the Americas, although there are some exceptions. But I see core city center real estate as a great thing. I've decided, as someone who lived here in Malaysia before, part-time, had a base, kind of miss it. Even though there's a lot of reasons to be in Europe, I kind of miss coming here a couple months a year. I've had my ear to the ground for the last couple months, almost a year I guess, with the various real estate people that I met when I was here, and found a few folks who are pretty distressed, have some properties dead in the middle of the city, and I have just completed negotiations to buy a property in the city center here in Kuala Lumpur, KLCC. Now, you know, we talk a lot about why Kuala Lumpur wasn't always the #1 investment choice for me. As supply grows, as they build buildings all over here in the city center, prices have gone up a little bit, not as much as you can find in other places. Yields have come down quite a bit actually. And so you might be surprised, you know, why does Andrew want to buy property? Well, it comes into the concept we discussed that I've been talking to a lot of people about who have built successful companies, and now they want to go out and enter the nomad capitalist lifestyle. And what they're looking for is what I call a lifestyle investment. Now, you know, you can have lifestyle, and that's where you just kind of flush money away. And you can have investment, which is where you go for the ultimate investment, but it may not be sexy. A lot of folks are looking how they can put these two together. It oftentimes isn't a good idea because you get kind of stuck in the middle, and sometimes being in the middle is a bad idea. You want to go for either the ultimate investment and then just waste money on the lifestyle part, or you want to go the other way around. But I think that what I'm increasingly seeing people be interested in is the idea of parking money kind of like in the bank. People don't want their money in banks. They want the potential for capital appreciation, whether it's short, medium, long term. They want the ability to use a property right now, and they don't want, and they want kind of a property that they know is stable. And so that's why the idea of city center real estate has always interested me, because in Europe and Asia, it historically has been in many areas like just keeping money in the bank. Where here in Malaysia, you have so much supply that I don't necessarily think that a property is necessarily going to go up in value a ton right away in the next 1, 3, 5 years. In the next 10 to 20 years, being in the city center, as the country expands and grows 50%, maybe. But, you know, that's where the idea of a lifestyle investment comes in. I like living part of the time in the winter in Malaysia. It's a great base. I've always said it's one of the hidden gems. And so we are, through one of my companies, going to buy a property here in the KLCC area. Here's why I'm doing it, and here's where I think a lifestyle investing can make sense right now for people who are holding US dollars in particular. I don't think you're going to see tremendous appreciation in the next 5 years in Malaysia. Again, I don't think you're going to see yield. For somebody like me who comes and might spend, you know, 200 bucks a night on a hotel, pretty good value for money, but still, if I'm here 100 days, you know, a year, that's 20 grand. If I buy a property for 250 grand, I've got an 8% yield, and I can squeeze a few bucks out perhaps other parts of the year. But the main reason I'm looking for folks who hold US dollars right now to make lifestyle investments is that, particularly here in Malaysia, but in other places too, you've got very weak currencies. The Malaysian ringgit was weak long before, or not long before, but a few months before other currencies started depreciating against the US dollar about a year ago. And so you've got a ringgit now that I really believe is approaching and kind of resting at support levels where it's not going to go substantially lower, and I think that in the mid to long term will go higher. So even as they're building a lot of buildings around this area, you can buy a property in the middle of the city in a location that, if you do your homework, you can get a good location where there's not going to be a ton of other stuff obstructing your views, and you know, basically lock that money in like it's in the bank and get a personal kind of lifestyle yield and be able to play the local currency. So if the Malaysian ringgit is about 4.5 to 1 of the dollar right now, 2 years ago it's 3.2 to 1, and I think that long term it has the potential to settle in between there. Your $250,000 investment could become a $350,000 investment, even without any Malaysian ringgit capital appreciation, even with the property here staying the same. This is one of the ways that I think right now, with a weak, currencies all around the world, and with the dollar about to do some kind of crazy stuff, is an interesting way for folks who have money, want to buy properties in places they enjoy spending time, want to participate from possible midterm currency appreciation, and want to lock in the potential benefits of long-term capital gains in a country like Malaysia, where the population is expected to grow, I guess, by 60% by 2040. So that's what I'm doing. I'm buying a property in Malaysia. I've historically said it's not the best investment, and it's not the best investment. It's not the best yields. Yields are under stress. It's not the best appreciation, but it's something that I can use money that I can't access myself, that would otherwise sit in the bank. We have businesses that don't need that cash, and we're going to deploy it into something where I'm basically taking an option on the Malaysian ringgit, a currency that I think will do well in the next number of years, and basically, rather than coming and opening a bank account and going through all the procedures to do that, having to start a company, having to file reports, having to get immigration, whatever it may be, to open that bank account, we can do that through real estate, enjoy the benefits of that as a lifestyle, while we wait for everything to come together. So the concept of a lifestyle investment, if you have money that's sitting there, if you want to put basically cash in the bank that you would otherwise put in a term deposit or something like that, lifestyle investments through property in places where you want to live, where, especially right now where the currencies are potentially much lower and have the potential to rise against your home currency, you don't have to have a lot of things go right to at least do moderately well and enjoy yourself and enjoy your money. We talk about enjoying yourself at Nomad Capitalist. It's something that I think is, in your long-term money-making future, a good thing to reward yourself, to invest in yourself, to be comfortable. This is one way to do it. We talked about it this weekend, lifestyle investment, and that's one way that I right now am playing the idea of a lifestyle investment, by using a strong US dollar to buy property overseas.